talking a little bit further on that, in terms of becoming economically independent, like for boys, it's a no-brainer. But how do we convince families or girls that girls need to become economically independent, and what kind of change does that bring, and what does it require to make these girls economically independent, and what kind of change does that bring, to families and societies, so which we can actually use as to promote the mindset change at that level. So if you have any insights on that from your work, I know you have a lot, but if you can share something.
Right. So initially, when ETASHA was set up in one of the communities, the first 5 years of it being set up, we had more boys coming in and enrolling in our vocational training program. And once the center was set up, the computer education became like a hook, that was being created. The girls were being uh, 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 you know, uh, sort of, they were getting excited that what is it that these boys are going to learn where we are not getting an opportunity. The next 5 years, we saw a remarkable increase in the number of girls coming in and joining our vocational training program. So that was like that one thing that we saw, that there were girls who were wanting to look at skill development as one of the added features to their growth. Also, like you said, that boys, of course, it's a done thing that they have to earn, and yeah, they are allowed to go and travel for work. Whereas with girls, it came with zillions and millions of constraints. So when we were getting them for skilling, yes, the parents were pretty all right that, okay, especially in the Delhi NCR area, they were fine that no, it's good for the girls to go in and learn computers or communication skills, interpersonal skills, the modules that we were running, that was fine. But as soon as we would say that this kind of a program will only be relevant if they use it in the job that they're going to work. So like any other, like child rearing also requires the whole village to really raise a kid. Similarly, with the girl, convincing the father, mother, relatives, the community, the whole ecosystem we had to work with, even the recruiters who were recruiting the girls. So there were times when, the girls would have to do, stay back a little longer in the shift. That required for us to intervene and to tell the parents it's all right, it's not like a daily thing, because I'm talking 10 years ago, it was not very easy, right? But when we started creating those kind of role models, where this girl who was the first in her family, in her community, in fact, who completed graduation, who got the job, and this was in communities where we also talk about minority communities also. So there it was like a big thing that, oh, how can this girl go out and work in a 9 to 5 kind of a job? But once her parents and her ecosystem was convinced, she set the example in her community. Everybody wanted to be, oh, we also want to join the program that she did. We also want to go and earn, because once they started earning, it was like a regular income coming home with the benefits. So whether it was Provident Fund or ESI, or the company was giving them medical insurance, it changes the whole family's status. And so once we started creating those kind of examples, whereas in the rural area where the projects that I've been working in, which is Haryana, So for example, Sonika, who we had to convince for, I mean, it took us what, 2, 3 weeks to convince her father to let her go and join the retail sector. He was like, no, we are from the higher caste. We can't allow our daughter to go and work. What will the community say? All those kind of things. We said, okay, get her married off, that's fine, but give her 6 to 8 months, let her work and let her get the experience of, working. She worked, she saved 1.5 lakhs for her father, and she gave that to her father. Father didn't know what to do. He had tears in his eyes. He said, I don't know what to say. I mean, she's like my son. I said, don't say that. I mean, she's your daughter, but she's, you know, giving you her savings. Now you get her married or whatever you want to do. And it doesn't stop here. So she's married now. She has a daughter of her own. She has been convincing her mother-in-law that now you take care of my daughter. She's 1 year old. I want to get back to work. She's got that voice. She's assertive. She is going out there and she wants to make a better life for her daughter. And that's the change we're talking about. That's
Yeah.
a very conservative village that Sonika comes from, right? So it has to be, and we cannot just say that, oh, we're going to just train and placement, and no, it has to be a lot of work so that we can look at mindset change and behavior change. And that's why we have a lot of Hasinas, Sonikas, uh, Hina. I have so many examples that, I can go on, and I don't think you'll have that much time to hear all the stories. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure, like, I hope, we get to hear their stories now. There are so many platforms because they can be role models. So I have some follow-up questions to what you were just saying. So the first thing I was wondering is, what are the kind of jobs that these girls take up after, you train them, after you give them the vocational training? What are the areas that they can work in?
So Shravani, our courses cater to the service sector industry, which is retail, hospitality, e-commerce, IT, ITS, office automation. That is working as admin and receptionist. Then another course is where we get them ready for the accounts department. So that course is specific to the back end accounts or cashier kind of job roles. Then we also work with the ITIs, which are industrial training institutes, where they run technical, non-technical courses, and where we do the employability skills development program. So their courses could be from plumbing to machinist to a computer operator, programming assistant, or a stenographer, fashion technology. So then then those students, after completing our course as well, we help them to get placed in the relevant sectors where they have taken the technical training. So those are the kind of sectors. We have a lot of girls now working in stores like Chroma, Uniqlo, um, Hamleys. Those are the high-end stores, and even Policy Bazaar, even as fundraisers in organizations. So basically, where we started from, um the girls would be choosing the not so I would say challenging careers. They would be like, okay, data entry operator or receptionist, those kind of roles. Now they are like moving into the sales roles, and they are taking home double, triple the salary, as incentives. So that change we have seen happening in the last 17, 18 years. Yes.
That's nice. I mean, that's nice to hear. And so I was just wondering, like, with this financial independence that comes, uh, with respect to marriage, are they able to now negotiate that I want to get married a little later, and that pressure on getting married at 18, below 18, does that change? Have you seen that?
In the rural area, not really, but in the urban area, we do have a lot of cases where they have been able to negotiate that, okay, let me work for, some time and then I'll get married. That we've been seeing that trend, we've been seeing. But in the rural areas, what I've been also seeing is that the father-in-law, the mother-in-law, are getting their daughter-in-laws to enroll in the programs, and they have been supporting their daughter-in-laws to become employable, as well as some of them to take up jobs. Definitely, I think that is one trend that I'm really excited about. And they said, no, no, the kids are fine. We look after the children. You go and you support in getting home money, and I mean, that way. So
Mhm.
that I've
So
seen.
these are in the
Yes,
rural areas, you said, huh?
in the
In
rural areas.
in
Yes.
states like Haryana.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm, nice.
I wouldn't put a percentage to it, but yes, because
No,
we
no.
work in a village, and we work village wise, and we look at strengthening that whole village ecosystem. In there, I would say from the higher caste, I have seen, in-laws bringing in the supporting their daughter-in-laws to come in and join the program, and they have also joined our project as well, working with us in the project. And so we also go into the field, right? So the mobilizer is supposed to be going door to door and talking to the community, talking about our program. So when a couple of our trainees joined us as mobilizers, that was like a fight that, oh, should I cover my head or shouldn't I cover my head? I mean, we were like, okay, you're a professional here. Nobody is like your, senior. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like also a thing that they don't see us covering our head, right? In the office where we
Yes,
are
yes,
in a
yes.
professional
Yeah,
environment of
yeah.
sorts. But yeah, they've been able to work around that as well. So I guess, yeah, they really enjoyed
Nice.
working
So
with
basically,
on those projects with
yeah.
that.
So this the when a professional identity develops, it for the woman and for the family, and that's different from the personal identity. That's, I think, that's a very interesting thing that's happening with women. Okay,
Absolutely.
so
She
the other
she
thing that
gets
you
to
do, you are.
be part of the decision-making process, Shravani, and that I've heard from so many of our trainees, who've been working. They say, "Oh, earlier nobody used to ask us for any opinion or any thing that no, no, she's a kid, let her." But now they say, okay, what do you think? And I think that is a positive change. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes, very nice to hear. Okay, so you also enable women to become entrepreneurs, to start uh, their- a business in rural areas. So tell me a little bit about the work you do and what you see are the on-ground challenges, some of the challenges, and what is working, what really helps within in your target audience.
Sure. So our entrepreneurship program is both in the urban as well as the rural area. And first of all, I mean, it's easier to first figure out what skills do they already have. So whether it is They know how to do the work in the with the cattle. They know how to work, they know stitching or any other skill that they have. What Itasha does is that we do the entrepreneurship development training, because to become an entrepreneur, you also need an entrepreneurial mindset. So, of course, once we filtered out, those candidates who really have the risk taking ability and wish to set up their own business, that's where when we start our work and we start our hand holding process. So from keeping how to maintain accounts, how to keep your cash book, how to do your daily transactions, the backward linkage, forward linkage, basically the marketing becomes like the biggest challenge, like the challenge that you talk about. And that's where it's like a make or break of any business, right? So that is what we really help the women with the forward linkage, handhold them for a year, and then or maybe 2 years or maybe 3 years, depending on what kind of business it is, and we take them through the whole process till they are self-sustaining. Meera ji, who's started soap making manufacturing unit, she's been, she started this during COVID, and she's been on her own now for the last 1.5 years. She's been training other women to, set up soap making business. She's added candle making also to it, so that she's got not one product range but another product range to supplement. Zarina, who set up a vegetable store, started with just a cart, and now she has a little stationery store. Started with 4,000. She's earning 60,000 bucks a month. We have another entrepreneur who's a momo maker, right? So momos are like a big attraction with the young people. So she knew how to make momos, but what we did was we got her some extra upskilled, her by adding some extra momo product line, to it. And from one little cart, wooden cart, now she's got two carts, and she says, Zomato it is, and she's now on Zomato. You can order momos
Oh,
from her from
nice.
Zomato.
Mm,
And
nice.
yeah, so there's another lady who started with macrame, crochet products. They became like a very fashionable thing. And now she's got 8 women, assisting her. So that is what we want to talk about, that it's not easy for a woman to really invest so much time on a business and making it profitable if she does not have the family support, the children or the husband. So all these entrepreneurs, we cannot work just with them. We work with the whole family. We try and convince them. We try and figure out, who the vendors are, who are the what is the local market nearby, so that that's the hand holding piece. Once we've done that, then I think the day to day small challenges are easy for them to deal with. So yeah, that's how we've been working.
Very nice. I think, what I understand from all of this is there's a lot of potential in women which has been lying low, and with the bit of hand holding and support and breaking these shackles, there's so much that they can do. I mean, once the support is there, and they can do anything that they want. Uh, and it's great. I
And
mean,
Shavni, the
I'm sure it gives you.
confidence that they get, the confidence, I mean, the minute you've made your first deal or you've got your first salary, the once the money is in your hand, and the I mean, you can see the glow on their face, or I mean, that is another level altogether. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So, and I'm sure, like, even like when you see this is like you can see on impact of whatever you're doing. Small things make a big change. So that's really nice. I mean, these give
Absolutely.
you hope that there's, if we scale up these kind of interventions, a lot more can happen. Uh, yeah, wonderful.